Hello, and welcome to episode 2 of Xandros the Sundering. Welcome along. Today I have playing with me, Josh.
I'm Josh. Today I will be playing Glax, the Goblin Pact of the Archfey Warlock.
I have Oscar.
Hi, I'm Oscar or Salty. Today I'll be playing Kiaran Mosslight, the Furbog Druid Circle of the Moon.
Today Mike won't be with us. He would normally play Lycus Lysigoras. I haven't rebalanced the combat, so I will be sort of helping out in combat a little bit, but for the most part, he will not be present today. I have Darth.
Hi, I'm Darth. I'm playing Verdant Winterbrook, Protector ASMR Paladin.
I have Moon.
Hello, I'm playing Shira Everpetal, our Wizard Fairy.
And I have Jamil.
Hey guys, Jamal here, playing Thanos, Horizon Walker Ranger Fighter.
Lovely. Okay, so last session there was an electrical storm going on where it was raining acid. Please don't reply. And there was an electrical storm and it was raining acid, and it caused some of our players to have to take shelter within the city. We came upon a city. None of you identified which city it once was. However, what you did realize is that it was cleft in two by the Sundering, leaving a large sort of what's the word? Chasm in the center of the city, where down at the bottom you could see lava was writhing. You did meet a few of the heat-based monsters, fire-based monsters that arose from the depths. In fact, one even watched over you as you took your rest, as most of last session was a mission to have a long rest, really. So we resume today, and as you come away from your long rest, I turn first to Glax. Glax, you open up your... Well, describe the book for me. Describe what this book is and what it means to you.
So the book is relatively big. I mean, he's a goblin, so it's big to him, anyways. But it's leather bound. It's got a silk ribbon where you can bookmark things. And it was used to record his tribe's history. But since has been turned into a book of shadows from his best friend Vashana, who's the archfey that he made a pact with.
Indeed. And as you open it today to reflect over things lost and to think about Vashana herself, you see in a delicate, dark sort of, it's almost black, but there's just a hint of sort of a reddish pink to it. The script begins to write in front of you. Glax, I hope you have this with you. I hope that it's you I sense has picked up this book. I'm so sorry to have left you alone. I sheltered those of the tribe that I could, but they'll be far from the place that you once called home by now. Little like me. I'm far from home, far from anywhere really. Though, I'm working my way back, slowly but surely. I've written down here some tricks that may help you survive in what your world has become. Sometimes you need to stay away from the danger and do things from afar, and sometimes you need to convince others to do the same. Hopefully these things will help keep you alive. Till we meet again, stay safe, little one. Vashana. And as you finish reading that message, I turn to the rest of the party, as you are currently cooped up in what was once a temple. Your spiny friend who was watching over the door has indeed left. I believe it was Verdun and Lycus who had the morning rest, at the last watch. So Verdun, as you turn and you see the dawn rising over... Well, even seeing the dawn rising can be difficult in this world. It is constantly raining ash. As if all the volcanoes everywhere that there is have all erupted simultaneously. It rains thick enough that the rivers are clogged with it, that the ground is always smothered in it. But you do see a little bit of light break through the soot. And as you turn, Verdun, you see Glax reading in his book. Are the rest of you awake, asleep? I hand over to you.
Good morning.
Good morning, my companions. Hopefully everyone was able to rest after that hard fight.
Well, I don't know about you, but I slept sound.
Indeed.
Soundly
have
as I
done
could.
I could have done with better than the floor, but at least I got sleep.
These times we can't quite be too picky.
On the contrary, I'm always picky.
I'm just gonna like after reading the message, and then like it disappearing in the spells, like going on the pages. I'm just gonna like run my hand down the page and then close my book, and then like stand up and go huddle with everyone.
Do you try out either of the, well, preferably not both of them, but either of the tricks that she's...
Oh yeah, I definitely not trying out the second one. No, he's not. I mean,
You'd only use it when he needs it.
Yeah, he doesn't. He sees the magic as like not something to take lightly.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense.
Were you trying to be discreet with said book?
No, he carries it around with him. I mean, it's how he uses spells. I mean,
You've seen it, yeah. You've seen him open it through and flick through it in combat.
Well, maybe in first combat, but no, what is that you have in your book there, Glax? What is this?
he kind of like looks down at his book and then looks up at you. It's all I have left of my people, my home.
What does it contain? What sort of information?
It's not really information. It was turned into a gift by an old friend. It's to keep me safe. It's got incantations, I think is the word. I don't know.
Oh, I'm gonna immediately fly up to Glax. Yes, spells in it. May I have a gander?
He kind of like holds the book like slightly away from you. I don't think that would be right. It was a gift. It's not something
I mean,
to
no
share.
disrespect. I'm just so enamored by spells.
Well, I don't know if I should be sharing this.
Right. That's just fine.
It's
Maybe
not really
another
mine
time.
to share.
My apologies for being so abrupt.
It's okay. You're fine. It's just this is private.
Well, how about the rest of you?
Well, you already seen what I can do.
I have some magic about me.
Anything interesting or unique?
Not as far as I'm aware. I'm just a humble paladin for Tyr.
Ah, paladins. Same with a lot of you.
Well, if it's magic you're talking about, you've seen me use a little bit. I have some spells that I know, but I mean, outside of molding the earth, around things like that, not too much that I'd want to share outside of reasonable spots when we need to use it.
Yes. I understand. Not everyone shares the same fervor I have for spells. And the magic and arcane.
I'm more enamored by the trees, brother.
So, do we have any plans for what we are going to do today? Or do we just want to sit in here all day?
We can explore the town, can't we?
I
mean,
would
we
like
can.
to.
Just
I would like to take a moment here, if I may,
go on.
to assess our situation on supplies. Can we get a check on that?
By supplies, you mean things to eat?
Yep, food,
chickens do we have
water,
left?
rations.
I don't think anyone has rations.
The chickens.
Yeah, we have some abyss chickens, but nobody should have any rations, right?
I do have some.
Do you?
I'm not sure if I'm supposed to or not, but
I don't think so. Sneaky little fucker. Why would you have anything that I didn't give you?
you did though. It was in my backpack, so it was definitely the thing that was given to me.
Let's have a look.
Oh, why am I not attending this? The fuck?
Yeah, I'm not
Yeah, because
sure.
you gave me 10 of the bastards, didn't you?
You're yeah. I think that's the dried meats, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, the dried meats from your hunting in the last week. I think you've got all the rations.
Right. Okay, and as for water?
Each of you has a water skin. It's probably approximately half full at the moment. It'll last you most of the day. If you're very frugal about it.
Right.
It's probably
Okay.
evaporating as we speak, considering where we are.
The water skins
Well-
are sealed, so it won't evaporate. But
Well, we're okay for food right now. We really should sort out our water situation though. We aren't going to last more than a few days.
Well, I don't know about you guys, but I didn't see any rivers or lakes of the sort.
I didn't see any clean rivers of the sword.
Well, we
Would
can
I
take
have,
the cleaning.
By any chance, would I have noticed any when flying down from the mountains?
Muted,
Muted.
James.
am I? How exciting! Yeah, 40 or 50 miles away, you would have seen a couple of rivers.
That's a hell of a long trek.
Yeah, no, it's not attainable to get to there in time. But there are other sources of water, you know that. First of all, you might attempt to catch some water from the rain. But secondly, in some of these buildings, this is an old city. In some of these buildings, there were once water sources. Perhaps if you have a look through some of the different buildings, you might be able to find a source of water. Most of them were magic in nature, but perhaps some of the cities
That does
still
sound like
remains.
the most sensible approach, yeah.
Shall we?
Well, in that case, I propose we scavenge in the buildings.
I believe that's for the best.
Okay.
Shall we go as a group or split up?
I mean, after last night, I'd imagine running into any sort of trouble might not be the best idea when we're alone.
Thank you.
I apologize. I'm not very good at this whole working together thing. It's still rather new to me.
Yeah,
The larger buildings, at least, would be good to search as a full group. Smaller
I believe-
buildings, we could handle 2 or 3 at a time in close
You also
proximity.
believe God thinks I don't understand not splitting the party.
No, I'm just. If you guys choose to split, I don't think session 3 will ever happen. That is not my idea of
campaign.
fun. Let's do the not splitting. In all fairness, I think you guys will realize that any advantage you can gain in terms of preemptively having an advantage in combat is necessary.
Yeah.
Splitting the party is just
I'm
sort
gonna
of.
be honest with you. I didn't think we would split the
No.
party. It's just something I would say.
Yes, but unfortunately, people think it's a good idea occasionally.
That's true. I would have felt really bad if I split the party by saying that.
Yeah. So
All right,
anyway,
gang, let's split up and search for clues.
you currently reside at the northeast of the map, in what is a large temple building. As you look out, so I should really put the counter at the back because there is only one exit to this building, and it's the northeast. As you look out the back, you see what looks to be quite a nice house, but it's missing a whole wall and half its ceiling. In fact, it's missing the wall that's facing you, so you can see in. And you do see that there is a staircase rising up the back of the building. And
Which
there are
building
2
is
floors.
this specifically?
It's the only building you would be able to see if you exited where the counter is.
Right, so it's just on the right
to the
end, the
east,
top one.
to the east of the current building you reside in.
Got it.
It's missing the wall facing you, but it is up on 2 floors. And you see that there is a kitchen of some sorts and what appears to be some sort of washpot room upstairs. Both may potentially have a source of water.
Okay. Can I do a quick bit of scouting for our immediate perimeter?
Yeah, I mean, what sort of scouting are you doing? What are you looking for? What are you trying to
So
ascertain?
basically, what I want to do is just fly up a couple of 100 feet and take a look around, see if there's anything moving in the town that we need to be concerned about.
So,
anything nearby.
As you go up, first of all, I need you to give me a strength check. As you're beginning to fly up, there's still the remnants of that storm in the wind. There's still ash blowing.
16.
The winds are quite fast up the top. Yeah, you can get to sort of 60 or 70 feet before you realize if you go much higher, you just won't be able to see through the thick ash.
Okay,
The falls are thick today. However, as soon as you're 70 feet up, you see lots of things moving. Down by the lava, you see monsters crawling up and crawling back down over the lip of the chasm. At a building sort of just across the... well, there's a building that's actually split by the lava chasm. It's the dark grey building on your map. You will see that there are definitely some sort of small animal, maybe, that's come in or out. South of that, you see a building standing alone where there is a humanoid. It's either come out or come in. But more importantly, in the sort of 3 or 4 buildings around you, you don't see any movement.
Okay. I'll land and immediately relay that the chasm itself looks dangerous. In our immediate proximity, we're okay.
Yeah. Bear in mind the city exit is to the northeast and to the southwest, so you could technically walk out the city to the northeast. And potentially, you can't walk all the way round. I mean, you can, but you'd have to go a long way north or south to get over the lava. The only real place to cross the lava is where you are, and you've all come from the northeast. Yes, man?
In the center of this map, is it just completely cleaved into this town? Because it does look like
there is a
touching part
small
in the
lip of rock that has sort of fallen towards the other side, allowing people to cross. But it really has fallen. It's sort of a little downhill, and there's a little bit of a climb on the other side. But yes, it intentionally meets in the middle. It's just a little unstable, I guess. And you would have, well, specifically, Fennis, you would have seen this flying over. You would have seen that where these 2 bits of rock meet. But right now, you know your priority is not to go near the thing where there's lots of things crawling in and out, but to find yourself some water. So as I said, straight ahead of you is one building where the front wall is missing. It's on 2 stories. There is a kitchen on the bottom and a washroom upstairs. And what appears to be some sort of sleeping room for 2 and some sort of living area.
Well, shall we go take a look?
Yeah.
Okay. As you walk in, bear me a second. Sorry, this is really annoying. There we go. As you walk into the building, you notice a couple of things straight away. First of all, it looks like there were preparations made here. So you see rations built into small mess kits against the back wall. These are under the staircase, which is the most secure part of the home. You also see 5 what looks to be sort of metal containers, cans, that have water in them and are sealed right up to the top with a small spout at the top. Sorry, there are 6 of those, not 5 of those. And you also see 3 rugged blankets and what looks to be some kind of 2-person tent.
And what of the inhabitants? Any signs?
Give me a... I don't think you can give it to me. Kiaran,
Wow.
Kiaran, give me a nature check, and perhaps...
I have a pretty good one too.
Yeah, I think
Wouldn't have me do nature.
no, sorry. Yeah, I've got you 2 backwards. Wizard, give me a nature check. Druid, give me a medicine check, please.
Some 19 nature.
Oh, out of 22.
22.
Holy hell. Okay.
God damn.
So, Shira, as you look at this building, you realize it has been obliterated from one side by the Sundering. You notice that the most secure place naturally would have been under this staircase, and in fact, there is what appears to be a small shelter built. You see the remnants that there was a small shelter built around these rations and water. In fact, that's how the rations and the water have held somewhat intact, although they're dented, bruised, and battered. Medicine check tells you that ash on the ground is the inhabitants.
Well,
Ooh.
I guess they won't be missing this then.
Always look on the bright side of life.
We should pay our respects.
I'm gonna go over and grab all the rations and bring them to us.
I
Did
hate to be
somebody say
that guy.
respect?
Can you lift that much?
I can make more than one trip. We're not in combat.
Okay,
James.
cool. But I'm just saying, like, if you, so you're just gonna split them out between people, right?
Yeah, I don't think I could carry even more than one, to be honest.
Yeah, exactly. Because the water skins
wait,
are
no, I
£5
strength
each. The water skins are £5 each. The rations are £1 each.
Shut
and
up,
there
I'm just
are
gonna
6 of them.
start moving them over if they're paying respects.
Sorry, the 12 rations, 6 water skins, and a 2-person tent. I'm assuming you're giving Verdun the tent, but as for the rest of the stuff, you can divide it up on the break. Yeah, I think you'll end up with 2 breaks. You can divide them on the break. Importantly, in this little section of shelter, you see what appears to be a maybe 1.5 foot long piece of lava rock. But as you look closer, you realize it's clutching a book. And you realize perhaps it's not a rock.
Did I prepare it? Hold on before I ask this dumb question.
Wait, you said there's like an obsidian like looking slab type thing clutching a book? Which...
No, it looked like a lava rock until you looked at it a little more
Right.
closely and realized you realized it's an arm encased in lava.
Oh,
Glax, go
Can
on.
I?
that's kind of fucky.
Glax, go on.
No, Moon was gonna do something
Okay,
first. I'll let
yeah,
him
go
go.
on. Moon.
I just wanted to cast detect magic.
Ah, brilliant.
That's exactly what I was gonna do.
Are you ritual casting it?
Good call.
Yeah. Does that? Okay, so I've never played a spellcaster that uses ritual casting. Does that use a spell slot still?
It doesn't use a spell slot. It takes you 10 minutes.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
I'd rather do
All
it that
3
way.
of us are
Question,
going to
though.
cast
Are we-
detect magic.
Simultaneously.
Are we ruling it like Beldania, where you have to ritual cast a ritual when
Yeah,
you can't
all
normal
rituals
cast it?
for
or
wizards must be ritual cast. Wizards only. That's a wizards only thing, yeah?
Wizard only. Right, right. Gotcha, gotcha,
Wizards
gotcha.
who
I
have
have
rituals
to get-
must ritual cast their rituals. And you don't need to prepare them, Moon.
Okay, I forgot that rule. So I
Okay,
have
yeah,
to
you
cast
don't
it
need to prepare them,
ritually.
but my rule is it's a ritual either way, for you. Can I just point out, Fennis, you seem to be over-encumbered.
I am encumbered, yes. Not heavily encumbered, but I still have flying speed.
No, you do not.
I don't. It
You
says
will
I've got
be-
40-foot flying speed.
Yes, it's lying.
Oh.
If you are incapable of flying with heavy armor on, I am going to say you're incapable of flying while unable to walk more than 15 foot in 6 seconds. Have you any idea how slow 15 foot in 6 seconds is? If you can only walk that far because you're weighed down by your rations, there's no way you're getting up in the air.
Right, okay,
yeah,
then let's
you
drop
will
the
need to
backpack first,
sort-
which is no problem.
Okay, yeah, I mean, if you want to walk around at 15 foot and only have 15 foot of movement speed in combat, that's fine by me.
Yeah, if you'd like to look around at the 7'8", 260 dude that's standing right next to you as well.
Who will gladly hold some of your burdens, your 10 pittons and your 10 rations.
Yeah, as I said, I just don't need to I don't need the baton, so I said, like, could we just ditch that shit?
Well, they will be incredibly useful, so I would suggest that, for now, just unclick your backpack. In the break,
Right.
can you hand some of your shit over to other people?
Gotcha, gotcha.
It doesn't make any sense. Even walking around, like, you would be left behind. Anyway,
fair,
back to the
fair.
point. As you finish casting
Talking
Detect
about
Magic...
backpack stuff, real quick, Jamal, are you gonna keep track of everything?
No, this one's a shared one. You guys will need to keep track of everything between you lot. As to what
Yeah.
Well,
you
I
add
meant
into your
what
inventories.
we're getting right now, and then we were gonna split it up.
I will put it
later.
in. I will put it down in the
Okay.
break.
Yeah, it's
wanna be
already in chat, so...
Yeah, for now, I'd like to focus on the story elements, and we can just chuck in. There's nothing you're going to get that's hugely interesting for combat. However,
I
detect
just
magic.
wanted to make sure that we kept it.
Yep.
Kept track of it, that's all.
Detect magic does reveal something upstairs that is absolutely pulsing with magic.
Oh.
Other than that, there's no magic here.
Well, you said there's a book in that arm, right?
Yeah, there is.
I am going to grab this book.
Okay.
Or attempt to.
Yeah, it's written in Elvish. That okay for you? Or do you want to hand it to somebody who speaks Elvish?
I speak Elvish.
You speak Elvish? Great. So the first thing you see is on the front, written in what appears to be flowers. She's drawn flowers to make up her name. It says Cassie. As you open the book, you see there's a few posts about sort of... Oh, hello? Okay, we good. There's a few posts about sort of a few pages where she talks about her dreams and how she wants to grow up to be a dancer, like Alessandra.
Oh, this is fucking depressing.
Alessandra's her best friend. She talks all about how beautiful Alessandra is and how Alessandra has a man she goes walking with, how she's jealous. But what takes your eye is that you get to the last couple of pages and you see a page saying, Dad has seen something. He's treating me like I'm going to die. Dad has seen something. He's treating me like I'm going to die. I don't want to die. That sounds horrible. I don't know why, but he seems to think that I might just disappear at any moment. It makes me sad. I wish he wouldn't stare into that ball so much and so often. The next page says, well, it's beginning to get silly. He won't even let me out to see Alessandra anymore. If I can't live my life anyway, what's the point of being alive? He treats me like I've already died. He just walks around with this haunted look in his eyes. Max, every meal, he starts saying his prayers like he's begging for something. And the last post simply says, I hope it won't hurt, and then there's a breaking of ink and a trail down the page as the writing cuts off.
Is
Right.
Moon reading this out loud?
Yes, I would say so.
Yeah, I would say.
Then
Right.
Glax would be crying.
Yes, that was rather depressing. In other news, there was a magical ornament, and I feel like this book might be talking about that. Anyone
Call
care to
Chaya.
come investigate?
She'll come with you.
I'm afraid to find what this is that might have slain our child.
I think it was the volcanoes that did her in.
Yes, I think it was the cataclysm that did her in. But regardless,
Yeah.
As you are going to attempt to go up the stairs, I will need an acrobatics check from Verdun. Shira, I'm assuming you're using your wings.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm always flying.
But yeah, these stairs, they've sort of crumbled to the side. What used to hold them
Wait,
in
can I
place is
use my
gone.
wings to go up then?
Yeah. Oh yeah, sorry, I forgot you can fly.
Yeah.
that's fine.
Right.
Go on,
It's
Glax.
good.
Is Shira keeping the book?
If you like it, you can have it.
Won't like it, but
I feel like we should
want
leave
to
it with
keep
the
it,
child.
yeah, Glax would take the book.
Yeah, I can give it to you. I wasn't planning on keeping it. I was just holding it while we go upstairs. But if it's more sentimental for you, I was probably going to throw it away, to be honest with you.
Well, I think for Glax, he would just want to keep the memory of the girl alive.
Yeah, I will give it to Glax for sure.
Okay. As you get upstairs, Verdun and Shira, your detect magic leads you quickly to what appears to be a metal box. This metal box has been sort of nailed down into the ground. It appears to have no opening. It's going to need to be broken open. Yeah, give me a strength check. That was a very good response.
17.
Okay. Yeah, you break open the box, and you see inside is what appears to be a diary. It's leather bound, and it's very beautifully written. And it is written in common. Underneath that is something wrapped in a cloth and a scroll. The scroll is rolled neatly and tied. Shira, you sense that the magic is coming from both the scroll and the thing wrapped in cloth. Verdon, I would assume you're more drawn to the book. As you open this book, it reads, I've seen it again. It's definitely coming, like a wave to crash upon us all. I've seen it. There's no running from this. Cassie suspects. I keep telling her I love her and that it'll all be okay. I've seen it, but I'm making preparations. In the second entrance, it says, it won't be long now. I wish I'd taken her to see the sea. Every meal I think it's my last. This foresight is no gift, unless it saves Cassie. In the third one, it says, I prepared a spell like nothing I've ever tried before. I don't know where it'll send her or what it'll do to her, but it might give her a chance. I've prepared the shelter. We'll go in there today. She won't like it. But hopefully, when the moment comes that her life should end, she should be taken to somewhere, some place of safety. I hope it's on this plane of existence. And with that, Shira, as you look at this scroll, you see that the words have been burnt out of it. You notice that it once contained some strong, powerful magic, but the spell has been used. This is the spell he prepared.
Attempt to figure it out.
You can give me an Arcana check to attempt to figure out what it once did, but you know 100% for certain it will never be usable again.
Oh no, I just wanted to know what he made, if I can.
As I'm reading through the book, can I try to piece together what the cataclysm was? Because I know he was mentioning.
It's the Sundering. I mean,
yeah. Did he say? Could he say what the cause was?
No. He said nothing other than he'd seen something coming like a wave that would destroy them all. What was your Arcana check, please? Moon?
15?
Okay. With a 15, you're able to detect that this was a spell of teleport. But instead of having a casting time or any sort of predetermined location, the destination was safety, spoken in the old draconic term, which means haven, or place of shelter. And the casting trigger was imminent death. It wasn't bound to him, it was bound to his daughter.
Oh.
And then there was another, or was the whatever was wrapped in the cloth?
What's wrapped in the cloth is a crystal ball.
Was that giving off an aura too?
Oh, very much so. This is the true magic item going around. This was a crystal ball. Unfortunately, its magics are well beyond any of you at the moment.
Can I get its school of magic at least, or is that too much for me?
Yeah, and it's divination. You would know that straight away. You would also have known, you've read of these. Crystal balls of true seeing are definitely something that you would understand the existence of, but using the magic is beyond you. You would understand that it would take a lot of study. However, you've got plenty of time. By all means, take it with you. Over time, you may be able to garner some of the uses of this crystal ball, but for now, it remains a pretty piece of glass. Unbreakable, though. You could throw it at a wall if you like. It won't break.
I do imagine that I would keep this.
Yeah, I would assume that Shara would keep it as well, as I will, full disclosure, tell you that nobody else would be capable of using it. You must be a wizard. Mechanically, you must be a wizard of level 6 before any abilities of the orb will be usable, and you will need to be level 17 to use all of the abilities of the orb.
Okay, that's fine.
So it's an item that will grow with you over time. Okay. But as you have now achieved Cassie's diary, and the father whose name is not given at any point anywhere, you do find a couple of other things. On the wall in what appears to be the father's bedroom was a map of the city. And the name of the city is given, and it's Simna, which is like this. At this point, I'll take a history check from anybody who was born on this plane of existence and is likely to have read anything. So that's Verdon and Verdon. And Fennis. Verdon and Fennis. The two of you will have travelled and know something about some... Yeah, 3. You haven't read about this city, sadly. Fennis, what did you get?
12.
12. Yeah, you've heard rumors of the city of Simna. It's a long, long way from anywhere you travelled. But the city of Simna is, or was, renowned for being full of elves. And a lot of these elves were somewhat powerful in magical nature.
Could you write that name out for me?
I have in the... Oh, I can write it in multiple places, I guess. Actually, Jamal
I just
can
need
write
one.
it.
For
I put it in the Twitch chat.
Yeah.
Which is where I put everything.
It's just
yeah, that's
for
fine.
one of my spells for future
Okay.
purposes.
Yep, somebody will make note of it. But regardless, it's yeah, it was known for the elven magic casters who... Oh, you bastard.
Oh my word.
The elven casters who gathered here often had large debates over what magic was capable of. It's fair to say if their city is shattered, then nowhere survived.
So it
By logic.
would be reasonable to intuit that there's still magics of some form tied to this place from
Well, you've
the
just seen that
creations.
somebody is capable of sheltering someone from death. Who
So
knows
it would
what
be
other
fair
magics
to
are
assume
present.
that there's more like this.
Oh yeah,
This-
100%. Yeah. But anyway,
and that's what to be.
that's most of what you'll find here. But he made preparations, so obviously he knew that the Sundering was coming. Perhaps he was the only one, but... At least his
Well, in
preparations
the
Quite
were-
clear
meantime-
it was from this crystal ball that he figured it out too.
Yeah, 100%.
In the meantime, I'll make a mental note of the resources available to us at this place. I can't carry them at the minute, so I'm not going to pick them up. Worry about them for someone else, and get everything of mine ready to carry on again and be ready to
Okay.
scout the next one.
Yeah, as Verdun and Shira were stood on the upper floor, Verdun, please give me a perception check, if you would. While Shira is attempting to decipher the spell in the magic crystal ball, which obviously has happened already, but we're going to go retrospective here.
Yeah.
A 10? Yeah, great. So looking out to your right, you see that there is another building that is barely intact. It appears to be only 3 foot in height. It almost looks like somebody's taken a sword and just lopped off everything above 3 feet in height. The building below you seems to be relatively well kept. Where would we like to go, my party?
So, which direction was the lopped off building again from our current
Okay,
position?
repeating myself again. To the
No,
right,
that's
there
just one
is
of
a...
the directions, that was all.
To the right is a building that has been lopped off at 3 feet of height, and down from you, or south, or below, whichever one you prefer, is a building that seems to be relatively well kept.
Right, yeah. I just needed the directions, that was all.
Okay.
Just to keep him just to keep
When
ahead.
Go on,
Jamal's character flew up and looked around this town, did he see any like wagons or anything that we could use to carry supplies?
No.
I could try specifically looking for that. think.
But you would know, having flown up once, that lots of these buildings have outhouses and sheds and other sort of sheltered areas. If anybody was to have a cart or anything, it would be under a roof, so you won't be able to see it by flying up.
We should probably try to find one, just because
Are you guys really that close to encumbrance on Verdun and Kiaran?
I'm encumbered. I took the extra tent.
Oh.
I already had one.
I think Kiaran's got like 100 pounds of space.
No, I mean,
No?
to be encumbered in the first place, I have about 20 pounds
Okay,
or 15
right.
pounds.
So you
from
guys
encumbered.
really are that close on encumbrance. Okay, that's absolutely
Yeah.
fine. That's good. That's what I'd like to see. You'll have to decide what to leave behind. Please do double check that whatever you're wearing is weighing nothing. Yeah, if you're wearing armor, it should be... If it's light armor or cloth or clothes, it should weigh nothing. And if it is medium or heavy armor, it should be half weight. You can override those by customizing the weight. I thought I had done this to everybody's sheet, but if I haven't, please double check that yours is done.
Oh, I just rolled a 1 on the API check. Fantastic.
Yeah, yours is crashed. Anyway, we'll get there. As I said, for now, just untick boxes. I don't want to focus on mechanical stuff today. I want to focus on stories. So we'll just say, fuck it. Untick your boxes of your... you're not going anywhere. I'm not going to punish you for encumbrance until you're traveling. So for now, just untick your backpacks and you'll all be unencumbered. Please can we bring the focus back to where we are and what we're doing. To your right is a building that appears to be sheared off at 3 foot of height. And below you is a building that appears to be fairly intact. Where are we going, party?
Well,
I'd like to check out the shared building if that's okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
I also vote for the jacked up building. It'll be faster.
Well, you see that everything in this building has been cut off at 3 foot of height. You see the bottom of a table. You see where it has sort of legs and they've been secured together at very low height, but obviously it no longer has a top. You see the edge of a shelf, and you see a few other bizarre things. What appears to be a stand of some sort is just cut off halfway. A statue cut off halfway. And a pair of legs, encased in lava, still standing.
How clean are these cuts? Does it look like as if
Perfect.
something's just...
They are perfect.
Would
something serious then?
doubt anything important is going to be here, but will my detect magic still be going?
Yeah, your detect magic is still going. There is a minor flicker of magic, but the magic is irrelevant compared to what you see. Because in the corner is a candle burning.
How burnt down is the candle?
Not at all.
That's interesting.
That's useful for what it is.
And lying next to this... Sorry, go on.
I think it's scary. Not useful.
Well, lying next to this candle is a miner's pick. And this miner's pick, you will see, has some sort of carapace over it. It's gone through what appears to be a gigantic scale. As you head over there, Kiaran, can I have a survival check, please? And I'm actually going to ping the nature check off of... are you proficient in nature, Shira?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, I'll take Shira's nature check, please. Sorry, Kiaran, you're not the survival check dude, are you? Kiaran, what skills do you have? You're
+7 in survival, +7 in perception, +2 in nature, +7 in animal handling.
Your survival, perception, animal handling. Fennis, I'm assuming you're also survival based, yes?
Yeah, survival, perception,
And
stealth,
yeah.
athletics.
Okay, cool, that's fine. So yeah, both Kiaran and Fennis can both give me a survival check here. And a nature check from Shira.
That's a 9 nature check.
Okay, yeah, so with a 9 nature check, you do understand something small about this. You understand that this would be a single plate of a beast that was probably at least 40 feet in height. You're able to get the proportions, but not the type of animal. With your survival check, Fennis, you understand that a beast that stood this high must have immense strength. Perhaps it could have caused this cut. But where the hell is the rest of the building?
So, by creature of this size, we're talking something...
Of the size of a dragon.
Gargantuan, then.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. 100%. Well, not necessarily gargantuan, because it may have stood 30 feet in height and not that wide. But it would certainly be incredibly strong, either empowered by magic, or it would be gargantuan in size. What is bizarre, though, is that a creature that's gargantuan in size would not have been able to land close enough to this building without landing on other bits of buildings, right? Make of that what you will. Regardless, you see a miner's pick, which will probably come in useful, so if you want to put that in your loot tracker. And a candle that appears to not be burning down at all. And in fact, if you investigate it further, you will discover that it would be burning no matter where it was. In magical darkness, underwater. Doesn't matter. You can add this as a candle of the deep, but it is slightly more powerful than a candle of the deep. It will burn forevermore. Please, can I have... Oh, go on.
So this is a rather neat candle that we have here.
And it is.
Drew, wasn't scary.
Well, I wouldn't say it's not scary still, but a little less now that I understand what it is. I feared there was someone living there, but I
Go on.
do not believe that is the case anymore.
Okay. As you guys are looking at this, can I have an insight check from Glax? And a religion check, probably, from Shire, I guess. Just because you're going to be the person with the most int.
I will say my insight is +5 as well.
Yeah, but this is specifically for Glax. The insight.
I got a 17.
Okay, you've seen these cameras before. Please can you look at my copied screen and make sure your faces are in the cameras, thanks. Yeah, so Glax, you've seen these candles before. You've seen these candles burning inside Vashana's temple. I say temple, it was her home really, but it was her shrine to herself, you know. And you know that she would light them herself with just a gesture of her hand. What was the religion check?
21.
21. Yeah, these candles are blessed. That's how they come to be. You probably wouldn't be able to create one yourself. Well, you certainly wouldn't be able to. Verdun may be able to one day, but at the moment it's beyond him. Not to mention the gods are sort of a sketchy subject right now. But in general, this candle is being blessed by a god, and that is why it is burning. A god or other powerful deity or being. So, as you pick up your candle and you pick up your miner's pick, there really is nothing else in this building. You can see everything as it is all shorn off at 3 foot high.
I'm gonna, since I'm pretty sure I'm the only one who's gonna really have much use of this candle too, I'm gonna just grab the candle.
Do you have dark vision?
No.
Okay, yeah, cool. It makes sense to give it to somebody who doesn't have dark vision. I think you may be the only person who doesn't. Fennis will talk about that.
I don't have dark vision.
Oh, okay. Quite a few of you don't. Who knew? Well, that's going to be helpful, isn't it? As you look out from this 3 foot high building, down to the southwest, you see a building that is relatively intact. And to your southeast, you see another building that appears somewhat intact, though the roof is missing.
And then we still have the option of the other building.
Well, yeah, you can go back and left, or you can go down. Really, those are your choices. And both buildings appear fairly intact, but down the ones is missing his roof.
I think we should go to the other intact one.
Down and left.
Vote that we scout the ones near us first.
Okay, down and left. So as you approach this building, it appears fairly intact. And as you enter, it's bizarre. Everything in the building appears to have been piled to one corner. Kiaran, give me an insight check here. As the rubble contains broken bits of furniture, 23. Yeah, cool. This is not done by any sort of accident or cataclysm. This has been manually done. Things are broken down and smashed and then pushed into this corner. There are piles of dishes, clothes, there are bits of wood, bits of metal, but everything too small and too broken down to be of any use to anyone. All of this furniture is broken down. Give me a perception check, please, Karen, and an investigation check on somebody's proficient, but I don't know who. Is it Glax?
Yeah.
Investigation check, please, Glax. Neither of your passives are high enough.
18.
19.
Okay. In that case, I would like you all to roll initiative, please.
Dude, I'm the king of dog shit initiative.
Don't worry, I am too.
For me.
You don't need to tell me your initiative, you just need to roll it on D&D Beyond, yeah?
Well, I have the Boots of Vigilant that I added on top.
Oh, okay.
Actually, I rolled the wrong dice for that, to be honest with you.
It's a D8, yeah?
Yeah, so it's an 11.
Okay, so I change yours to an 11 and everybody else's should be... Nope, I've got no initiative for Glax.
Yeah, I did roll first time, but you said it didn't go through, so I rolled again, and I got a nat 20 for a 22.
It's still not coming through. Weird. Okay, I'll do it myself.
Screenshot if you want.
No, it's fine.
That's weird. I don't see yours.
Yeah, I don't see any of your rolls.
I don't see any of your guys' rolls either.
That's weird. I see everyone but yours.
Do you have beyond 20?
At 5.
You'd have no reason to, would you? Just double check that when you're rolling, it says send to everyone. Anyway.
It does.
Okay. Just bear with me a second.
We just refresh it.
Okay. Who's at the top of the initiative order? Glax. Can you roll me a D4, please? And a D6.
Two twos.
Two twos. Number 2 is Shira Everpetal. Shira Everpetal, make a wisdom saving throw, please.
A 9.
Okay. In that case, as this sort of strange head appears with a singular large eye, a mouth below it, and 3 little eyes on tentacles coming out the top of it, stares at you. You are immediately frightened by this. Literally conditioned, frightened. And then, Lycus... nope, I'll re-roll that. Kieran. You need to make a dex save, please.
You can see the rolls now.
Is that an 11?
Yep.
You take 17 cold damage. That was a decent roll, wasn't it? Cool. Glax, you're up. As you see before you... Sorry, I've just realised we don't have a battle map. As you see before you 4 of these little monsters with strange eyes. Which one is it? That one. There we go. There's so much prep.
Said I'm frightened, right?
You are indeed.
Okay. I just wanted to see which one makes me run away, that's all.
Not frightened.
I always forget.
You just can't move any closer, and you have disadvantage on attack rolls against that creature. You are frightened of E1. Glax, you are up.
I was going to ask something, but I can't remember. Oh yeah, do I get anything special for rolling in at 20?
Advantage on your first turn, you know that. Always.
What, on like attack rolls?
Yeah, advantage on attack rolls on your first turn. You
Does
don't.
it have
The
to-
enemy doesn't get disadvantage on saving throws. You just
Does
get
it have,
Go on, Glax.
does it have to be the first thing I use, or just in my first turn?
You get advantage on any rolls in your first turn.
Okay, cool. Cool.
So yes, you can hex and then do something.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm gonna...
Oh, sorry, one really specific piece of information. You've only seen E1.
Okay. That's fine, because that's who I was going to attack anyways.
Okay.
So I'm gonna open my book and flick to the hex. And then as I start reading the incantation, some pink mist will envelop it. And I'm gonna flick back to the front of the book to find my Eldritch Blast invocation.
Mhm.
Oh my god. That's a 26 to hit.
Mhm.
And some more pink mist is gonna like wrap around my free hand. I'm gonna fire it out at E1, dealing 10 force damage. I think Eldritch Blast is. Yeah, 10 force damage. Oh, and
You hexed it. I'm waiting for the hex damage.
and 4 necrotic damage. Sorry.
Okay, beautiful.
Oh, and I will. That's a plus another 4 for my Fury of the Small. that I will use right now.
What does your small say?
Once per short rest, you can deal extra damage equal to your level to a creature which is a size large.
Yeah, this is a tiny creature you're facing.
Oh, then never mind.
Uh-huh. These are tiny, tiny creatures. They stand approximately 9 inches from the ground. And yes, Shira, that's what you're scared of. So
I can dig it.
Verdun, I need you to make a dex save, please. Glax, I need you to make a wisdom save. Fennis, I need you to make a strength save. And a wisdom save.
Got a 16 on my wisdom.
Okay, nothing happens to you, Glax. Did everybody... Fennis, did you just fail both?
Well, I don't know. It depends on a DC.
You got a 9 and a 4? Okay,
it
Fennis,
depends
not
on the
only
DC.
are you frightened, you are also shoved 15 foot backwards.
I got an 8 on my dex save.
Verdun, you got an 8 on your dex save. You will take 11 cold damage.
It's nice.
Okay, at this point you have now seen all 4 enemies. And it is Verdun's turn.
All right.
By the way,
How
that
hurt-
was a surprise round for them, but Glax got a nat 20, so I let him have a turn.
James?
Yeah. I've just realized I'm
Shame
still
I can-
streaming that, yeah, okay.
Yeah. It's like,
Oh,
I want a
sorry.
map.
Yeah, sorry, I thought I had changed long ago. I've just been realizing I'm pointing to buildings and everything. You guys must have been looking on the Twitch stream.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Alright. How damaged is E1 looking?
He's okay.
Okay.
Ish. Half
Alright,
health, wounded.
alright. Was wounded? Alright, I can take that. I'm gonna go up to E2 then, and I'm gonna... Or E3, I think that would be the
Have
only
you
one
got
I'd be able
30
to-
foot of movement speed?
Yes.
Yes, you can get to E2 or E3 or E4.
I'll get to E2
Or
then.
E1, for that matter. Yeah. They were all 30 feet
I'm
away from you.
Alright, I'll smack him.
Okay, smack away. As you lean down with your... What are you swinging? Great axe?
Battle axe.
Battle axe. Oh, that's a shitty weapon, isn't it? As you swing down with your battle axe, catch him. Yeah, you
14
catch
to
him
hit.
right in the tentacles. Give me a damage.
That is... Wait, why did you roll twice? That's 9 damage.
You're only wielding it one-handed? Do you have a shield?
I have a shield in my other hand.
Do you? Okay. Still, 9 damage is more than respectable. Does that conclude your turn?
Let me just check. I'm
Fuck,
pretty
smite.
sure that it...
I'm not a fucking paladin. Just take me for.
I want to save my spell slots.
Oh ho! Alright, cool. You save
Well,
the spell
listen,
slots.
I-
I'll see if you die.
What happens? What happens when we find anything bigger and I'm out of spell slots?
What happens when you don't survive to ever see anything bigger? Anyway, that's your
We'll see about
turnover.
that.
Very good. Okay. I need you to make a dex save and a wisdom save, please. Oh, sorry, no. I need Verdun to make a dex save and... Who is that? Shira to make
That
a wisdom
one.
save. Oh, Shira, don't worry
That
about
one
it.
on my deck.
No, do worry about it, actually. Nat 1 in your dex save. Very good. You take 9 cold damage. Sorry, Moon, I did need that wisdom save. It's 2 different effects. But you succeed anyway, so that's fine. Frightened you are, charmed you are not. Kieran, you're up.
Yeah. So you'll see Kjaran reach his hand out, and in a 20-foot cube around the 2 tentacly monsters on the right side, you'll see lights of blue, green, and violet start to try to attach themselves to those 2 creatures.
Why only 2?
It's a 20-foot cube. I can't hit anybody else.
Well, that's 10 foot, so you can hit
Oh.
15, 20.
Okay.
There are 20 foot between all 4
Okay.
enemies.
All right, then.
You
yeah,
want 4 dex
all of
saves?
them. Yep.
Okay.
It's a
That's an
15 to
8.
save.
An 8. A nat 1. You'd never believe they had a +3, would you? And a 9. There's 4 failures. There you go. They are all fairy the fired.
And then and then his form begins to change as his arms become slender and pointy, and 2 more begin to come out of the side of him, and he begins
he
to
turning
transform
into
into a
Spider-Man?
spider.
Okay. And where are
Yeah.
you moving?
I will move up to E3.
Does your spider have 30 foot of movement speed?
It does.
Cool. Great. Okay.
Big boy spider.
Phanis, you're up.
Okay.
You can't move any closer as you're frightened.
My distance, roughly?
40 feet from E1 and 45 to 50 feet from E2, 3, and 4.
40 feet from E1, then. Okay.
I mean, I'm assuming you've got a bow, so your distance
yeah.
doesn't actually matter in the slightest.
It does, for my extra abilities and stuff.
Yeah, true.
But in that case, I shall mark E1.
Okay, hunters, or just some other
Yes,
mark?
indeed,
Okay.
Hunter's mark.
Are you favourite foeing it as well, or just huntersing it?
I will do if I hit the thing, yeah.
Oh, yeah, you can designate it if you hit it, can't you?
Yeah, it's like when you hit it, you designate it, yeah. So in that case, I shall make an attempt to shoot at E1.
Yeah, bear in mind E1 is
Raise my
already
bow.
wounded.
Yeah, it may already be wounded, but I've already marked it, so...
Yep.
See if I can finish it off. I'm going to be rolling disadvantage because I'm feared.
Yep.
So I pull back the bow, take my shot,
They all have
and
fire,
it
so you don't have
completely
disadvantage.
fails to hit at all.
You don't
Very
have disadvantage.
Do I not?
No, you're rolling
Wait,
straight.
Fairy fire.
Oh, right, if it's
Very
rolling
good.
straight, then that's a 12 to hit.
Uh,
Sorry, no, a 12 roll with a +9 to hit, so that's 21.
21, that's more like it. Yes, that'll hit. Can I just check? Did
Uh,
I give you guys... Did I say no ASIs? I did, right? Yes, no, hello? Anyone?
Yes.
Even.
Cool. You leveled up to level 4, but none of you appear to have feats. I'm just double checking, yeah? Cool.
Oh,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I think I might have been in a rush and forgotten.
No, other people haven't got it either. Okay,
Yeah,
finish
I
your damage,
don't
please.
have, I couldn't get any feats or anything anyway.
Oh,
Damage is a 9 damage on the attack itself.
mm-hmm.
The Hunter's Mark, an extra 2.
Yeah.
And Favour Foe to trigger for the extra 1d4.
Mm-hmm.
That's another 3.
14 damage overall?
Yeah, 14.
Precise. That you are. The Executioner. E1 dice as you do the exact
Yeah,
damage
I
required.
take the arrow straight through one of its eyes and,
The big eye,
yeah.
I think, yes. Big eye.
yeah,
down.
the big eye. Let's go for the big eye, yeah.
Okay. At that point,
So which one feared me?
E1.
I'm no longer under the effect of fear, right? No,
You are
he's
no
dead.
longer frightened, correct?
Right. In that case, I would like to advance to get into a position where I can take a shot at E4.
You don't need to advance for that. Why do you want to advance?
I'd like to get within 30 foot if I can.
Okay, that's what you needed to tell me. Cool. Okay. E2 is next. That is a Kiaran. Dex save, please, twice.
That's a dirty 20. And that is a 5.
Okay. You will take 8 damage. 8 cold damage, and you need to make a con save. DC 10.
Alright, let me.
Obviously.
Yeah, one second. Let me look at my cave spiders. Con.
Okay. I don't really know how this class works, so I'm going to
It's a
shout
10.
at. I'm going to shout at Verdun, and heal him for 6 HP.
Yay.
So you succeeded, yeah? The 10. Okay, cool. And then I'm going to get a 14 to hit and deal 10 necrotic damage. What does decay do? Okay, cool. Yeah, marvelous. 10 necrotic damage to E2. So I'm just playing Lycus's sheet like really averagely. Shira, you're up.
Okay, I am going to use Scorching Ray. I'm going to
Where's
target
the first one,
E2.
Yep, E2. Sounds good.
The first one, 16.
That'll hit.
He takes 9 damage.
He is dead. As your scorching ray quite literally scorches him to death.
Scorches his ray.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next two are going to E3.
Yep.
Oh, that's a nat 20.
Okay.
That's some
15.
spicy damage. Takes 15 damage.
He's wounded.
And here's the last. And a 25.
Yep.
He's gonna take 4 more damage.
Okay. So that concludes your turn, Shara.
Yeah. I don't really need to move anywhere.
Glax, you're up. E4 is
I'll
untouched.
do one-
E3 is wounded.
Yeah. As a bonus action, I will move my Misty Hex over to E3. And then I'll fire out some more Pink Mist Eldritch Blasts at E3.
Yeah, advantage.
Okay. Okay, that is a 17 to hit.
That'll hit.
And that will... Ooh, nice. That's 14 force damage
Okay.
and
Wave.
3 necrotic damage.
Wave goodbye to our little friend E3. As not only do you hit him sort of dead center of the eye, but you sort of knock him into the pile of rubble that he came from. Get back over there. Does that conclude your turn?
It surely does.
Verdun, you're up.
I'm gonna go to E4 and I'm gonna smack a bitch.
That you shall. Advantage.
$17?
19. Yep, that'll hit.
Ooh, 16 damage.
Cool. Okay. That's a little bit of a touch. Does that conclude your turn? Or are you going to do anything else?
Yeah. I ain't got nothing else.
Okay. Can I have a Dex save and a Wisdom save from you, please? Sorry. Yeah, Dex and Wisdom. That's correct.
A 3 on my dex save.
8 cold damage.
Dirty 20 on my wisdom.
Okay. You succeed on a Wisdom save, but you will take 8 cold damage. Kieran, you're up.
I'll pitter patter my way over there. I don't know how to describe a spider walking. And yeah,
It's James when he types on his keyboard.
Yeah.
And I will attempt to sink my fangs into it.
Oh, you biting. You biting. Bite away.
Yummy.
That is a natural 1.
Why are you rolling custom rolls for everything? Oh, because you're a spider.
Because
that's you. Yep, cool.
Yeah,
That'll do nothing.
Have advantage.
You do
Oh yeah, I
have
have
advantage.
advantage. Very
Haha.
fairly me. I did that to myself. That's beautiful. That is
Yeah,
well. I
nice.
mean, I'm sure the 17
That'll
hits
hit.
regardless. Yeah. All right. That will be. This is so complicated. Not being able to click off that. That is 9 damage.
Okay.
And
your turn.
was he already below half, or did I bring him below half?
He is below half.
All right. I will use my reaction to leap on top of him.
Oh my.
He is going to make a Constitution save, DC 13.
For what?
If he doesn't make it, he's going to be paralyzed for an hour.
Why? That's what I mean. Like, is it part? Is
Paralysis
it poison?
bite.
It's just paralysis. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
It's a 6. He's paralyzed. That's nice. Fennis, would you like to finish him?
Let's go home.
You seem to have advantage on your advantage on your advantage. Fennis! Hello?
Oh, right, microphone was muted. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'd like to transfer over the mark to new target.
Yep, maybe overkill.
Nah. Oh well, doesn't matter. I'll take the shot with the longbow then. Pull back bowstring, let the arrow loose, and when the dice stops spinning, that's a 21 to hit.
Yep, give me your critical damage.
That's not a crit.
It is. All hits on paralyzed creatures are criticals.
Oh, never mind. Okay. Well, I didn't know
You
that.
know, I love how Jamal's like, oh, my mic's muted, as if he's not the one who muted his mic.
It's
Well,
muted
yeah,
itself,
but-
damn thing! Keeps doing it.
No, it's because I mute it so you don't have to listen to me make fucking random ass noise and shit.
Well, anyway, hurry up and
Oh,
do some
tolerate
random
it.
killing.
That's 16 damage.
Yeah, beautiful. He's very, 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 very eradicated. Okay.
And the Hunter's Mark damage, just for extra eradication, is going to be a further 8. So, yeah, do I satisfactorily explode this thing with my arrow pierce?
It is deed. It is very deed.
Fantastic. Now,
And
one quick question, if I may. Is it possible for me to recover my 2 arrows? Or are some of them broken?
that's an interesting question. Give me a perception check, and I will roll to see if they are in.
That's a nat 20.
Okay, yeah, you can see them both. It's one place to spend your nat 20 in it. One is intact.
Okay. I will recover that one.
And the other is snapped in half.
Okay.
Is it broken in a way that I can't use mending on it?
Yeah, it's 2 separate pieces, sadly.
Okay.
But yeah, that is definitely a thought, actually. I'll bear that in mind. But for this point, unfortunately, no.
Didn't hurt to ask.
Okay. How's everyone doing? Is everyone particularly injured right now from that fight?
I'm very injured.
Should we stop and take a rest, or do you require immediate healing and we just continue?
I have some ways of healing.
Bear with me.
Very well, very well.
Bear with me. You can roll a 2d4 plus 4. As Lycus will pass you a potion. To be prepared on his long rest. And that you can heal.
Oh, I'll take that. That was exactly what I was going to do to myself, so...
Yep.
I feel perfectly fine.
I'm back in fighting shape. A little bit.
It's 10 HP overall.
Yeah, I used to cure wounds on myself.
Okay. Yeah, I think that will do. Anybody need anything else, or are you guys ready to move onwards?
I would like to take a look at the creatures that we just killed.
Yep,
See if I
indeed.
can learn something about them.
So, as you take a close look at them, please give me a nature check, or perhaps designate somebody who might understand a little bit more about the nature of these creatures to make a nature check.
I would like to come and assist him with that. I assume you'd rather me do this.
Yeah, I think we'll go the other way round. So, Shira, roll with advantage. As Fennis will compare this to wild animals that he's hunted upon the road.
17.
17. Yeah, you know a little bit about these creatures, not a huge amount. They are definitely some sort of aberration. They're naturally evil creatures. They tend to group up together in small families, and they're known as gazers.
Had a feeling.
Yeah, that's about all you can get out of it. But they're definitely automatically very aggressive.
Would we kind of understand whether they're from this plane of existence or if they're from somewhere else?
They're not. You'd know that immediately.
Right. In that case, I would like to take this moment on realizing what these creatures are to... Where is it?
To do something with a thing.
Yeah. See if I can detect any planar portals within a mile.
Okay. Yeah, as you do this, this actually hurts. I need you to make a constitution save.
That's an 8.
Yeah, there are so many portals here that perhaps you begin to understand that maybe it's not even a portal anymore, and that it's merely intersecting wedges of other planes.
So my detection basically fires straight on top of me, rather
And
than
everywhere else, yes. In the lava, you would understand the lava itself has come from another plane of existence, but the chasm hasn't. In the building you're in, perhaps if you... Darth, I don't know what your mic's doing, but it keeps going constantly. So.
Sorry, I'm sniffling.
Well, can you mute for a second? Yeah, you would understand that behind this rubble perhaps was originally their home. And they've sort of pulled in this rubble to try and shelter themselves. Yeah, that's about all I can give you there.
Unfortunate little abominations.
That they are. However, one
I'd
of them did
almost feel
drop.
bad for them.
One of them did drop something. And this is a pipe of smoke monsters.
That's such a cool item to drop.
Pipe of
Smoke monsters. Yeah. In their realm of existence, this is just a plaything. But there are practical uses to it as well. It quite literally is a pipe in which you can blow shapes that resemble smoke monsters.
That's
Okay.
cool.
Interesting little trinket.
So, can I use one of my as we're leaving and heading over to the next building? I want to use before we all go in. I want to use one of my divine senses.
Okay. Divine sense telling you if there is a presence of fae, fiends, and celestials. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. No. What's the range on it?
60 feet.
No.
I'm assuming we would have checked the whole building, right?
Yeah, I mean, literally, because this building has been emptied out except for the rubble. Karen, give me an insight check. Maybe you can work out how they created the rubble like that.
Sure. Let's see what my insight is.
+5.
No, I'm
Oh, you're still a spider?
Spider.
You're incapable of giving me an insight check then as a spider. In that case, I will take one from Fennis.
I can.
I'll take one from Fennis, if that's right.
14.
He's the wisdom-based person.
I'm proficient in insight too, that's why.
Oh, okay. But regardless, yeah, 14 will cut it. They used, in fact, it's very relevant that it was Fennis, because they used telekinesis to move Fennis in the previous fight. You can assume that they have just sucked in everything they could see in the house into this corner. Using their telekinesis.
Gravity magic.
Yeah, pretty much.
That will be useful to know if we ever see anything like these again.
Yeah, not only that, but it
I
also
don't
explains
discount
that
that as a
everything
possibility.
in this corner, apart from that pipe of smoke monsters that they brought with them, is shattered, too small to be of use to anyone.
That's great.
Cool. So you're moving to the building to the right, is that correct? Where you had previously looked?
Yes.
Okay. As you look at this, it was once quite a nice home. There is now no roof on it, and there are muddy prints all over the ground. Can I take a survival check from Fennis, please? And a... yeah, actually, I'll just the one. Okay, so what you notice is that there are definitely some pigs' tracks here. Quite a few pigs' tracks here that go across the centre of the room.
They're muddy, yes.
Yes, and there is also some large beast that you identify to be giant kind, that clearly turned up and took the pigs away.
Damn it.
Okay, how
large is large?
how
It's a
dry are
giant
these
pig.
cake type tracks?
With a 16, with the Ashfall having only been in this type of world for 7 days, you haven't got a clue. You know that they're not in the last hour. More than that, you don't have a clue.
That's all I needed to know, whether it was just recent or whether it started to dry out.
I think, given the size of these footprints, if it was recent enough that you had been having breakfast nearby, you would have heard it.
Right, and that's...
Just to give an example, right, you're currently stood in the center of the print, and you are able to stretch out your wings to reach the edges of it.
That thing's fucking huge.
Yeah, giant kite, like I said.
Right.
However, you do look around and see that this was quite a nice home. There is what appears to be some kind of basin with a magical rune inscribed upon it. Unfortunately, the magical rune itself is cracked down the center. But there may be some water left within it, enough for you guys to take a little sip, at least. Shira, you're probably the one most equipped to work out how to use this. You want to give me an Arcana check, please?
Was going to ask anyways.
Glax, as you look over to the back right
That's
of
a
the
shitty
room,
one.
something catches your eye. It looks a little bit like a dream catcher. There's a 9, Shira, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's no restoring this. You know that from your check, but as to how to get the little bit of water that's left in it out, it's not within your grasp,
idea.
sadly. Yeah. Glax, as you look over to the back of the room, you notice what looks to be some kind of dream catcher. These were hung by Vishana at her home, amongst other places. It's definitely Fey in nature. Not Fey in that, like, I would have detected it with a Divine Sense Fey. As in, the Fey use these and create these. And yes, they're sort of, they catch dreams as such. But you know that they also allow people to control their dreams slightly.
I'll walk over and approach it.
Okay. As you touch it, there's an essence of sort of almost like a dust that falls off of it. This sort of magical remnant is... Glax, give me an Arcana check, please.
$16.
Yeah. This magical remnant, you realize, is definitely from a Fey creature. It's been created within the Fey, though, and unfortunately doesn't work outside of the Fey. But you know that means there are Fey creatures somewhere nearby. How long does Divine Sense last, by the way, then?
It lasts till after, like, till my next turn, so it's passed by now.
Right, okay, cool.
I have a quick question once you're done.
Yep, go
on. Not to get the water out of the ruin, but would I be able to take the ruin to study it so I could understand better for future?
You could definitely
ruin?
sketch this into your book.
Okay, so I wouldn't actually need it. That works too.
Yeah, you could definitely sketch it into your book. Glax, sorry.
Okay.
I'll take the dream catcher.
Okay.
And I'll put it in my backpack. And while I'm at it, I'm gonna step outside, and I'm gonna use Druidcraft to see what kind of weather it's gonna be for the next day.
Yeah, so as I said to you, this will only last 8 hours for you, yeah, because of the nature of the world. You know that in the next 6 or 7 hours, there's not likely to be any precipitation, but the howling winds will continue. However, right at the end of that 7 or 8 hours, it's going to rain, but rain in your experience in this new world doesn't always just mean little balls of water falling from the sky.
I'll head back inside then, and I'll just let everyone know that, you know, in 5+ hours, the weather's gonna get nasty again.
Yeah. Definitely.
Well, thank you, Glax.
That is quite helpful.
Okay. And at that moment, you are able to take a little look around this room, and you see quite a pretty dresser with a little mirror on it. The mirror is on the wall and is made of small tiled mosaic pieces, so wouldn't be carryable away. But the dresser drawers are still intact. You see a few nice pieces of jewelry there. A signet ring, a rather wonderfully jeweled necklace, a simple gold necklace, and some silver pieces, like coins, upon the top of the table.
We can take those jewelry with us for, like, enchanting later.
I think later on you might be able to turn these into sort of unworked silver and gold, perhaps even some powdered gemstones. But for now, if you just want to write down gold necklace, jeweled necklace, signet ring, silver pieces. Yeah. And I think at that moment we shall take a short break, as there is nothing else in this house.
Okay.
Hello, and welcome back to the second half of the Sundering. As we left off, our party was taking a brief moment of repast. Repast? Is that even a word?
Respite.
Yes, respite. That's what I was looking for. A brief moment of respite in a certain building with pig tracks across it and a rather lovely dresser. And as you take this moment of rest, you see what appears to be some sort of nightdress hung upon the edge of a door. And this door appears to lead nowhere. Well closed. It doesn't make any sense to you. Surely it just leads into the wall.
I'll open the door.
Darth Vader, coming through microphone, by the way. Somebody, I don't know who it is, but you're Darth Vader in me.
Wait, me, hold on.
As you open the door, yeah, this door just behind it is a brick wall. And as you see this, somebody, maybe Phanis, will go outside and walk around to work out what's behind it. And Phanis, you see that there is what looks like a well that is blocking off this doorway. The well definitely doesn't belong here.
Can I take a peek down the well real quick?
You can indeed. Give me a perception check with disadvantage.
There's a child in the well.
Disadvantage. Okay.
With disadvantage, yes.
Oh, that's a nat one. Yeah.
Okay, great. It's really, really, really dark down there. However, you do notice a couple of things immediately upon approaching this well. There is a chain that looks like it once held a bucket. But this chain is of black metal and looks kind of dark and spiky, and it's a nasty piece. It's nothing nice. And there is a winch to winch the chain back in to reel the bucket back up.
Just for curiosity's sake, I'll winch it if I can.
Okay. Give me a strength check to see if you can turn the winch.
That's a 6.
No. That's a struggle. You're going to have to ask somebody a bit bigger than you, a bit bulkier.
Okay, so this well sort of, is it like, you said it's not natural, it's not supposed to be here.
You know it's not supposed to be there because it's wedged halfway into a house.
Yeah.
I'll go over to the well and help.
Where it's from, as Verdun comes over, Verdun, perhaps you can give me a religion check as you approach the edge of the well. You do both notice strange markings around the top of the well. What languages do you speak, Verdun?
Celestial, Common, Draconic, and Elvish.
And Phanis?
Aarakocra or uncommon Elvish Sylvan.
Neither one of you speaks this language. However, as the two of you work together, you're able to winch this bucket up. And
Before I do that, can I try to look down in the well and see if I can see anything?
you have dark vision?
I have dark vision, and I also have the cantrip light. So
you can also give me a roll with disadvantage, yes, man?
I could also spend 10 minutes to cast Comprehend Languages.
Yeah. Okay, so let's say that the whole group has now come round and outside. What was your perception check with disadvantage?
Give me a sec. I'm in 11.
Okay.
I have advantage on my perception check, so
Why?
it shows two because of I have the Sentinel shield.
Okay. I would say with this you would still not have advantage. You are trying to look down through magical darkness.
All right, then a 4.
Yeah, Shira, as you arrive at the edge of the well, you immediately will recognize the script around this to be abyssal. Even though you don't speak it, you would most definitely know that this is abyssal, and it's the language of demons and devils. As you guys winch up this bucket, it is filled with black blood.
Maybe we should put that back.
Yes, my friends, this is abyssal in nature. We should probably not touch this. Or mess with it at all.
Are you still ritual casting that detect that comprehend languages, or are you quite happy just to ignore it?
It lasts an hour once I'm finished.
So you are you do want to do it?
Oh yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, ridden around the top of this well is lower
And if
him
it
down.
matters,
Oh, go on.
I do have to touch it to understand it.
You can touch it. It's not going to hurt you. Don't worry.
Just making sure that you knew that I have to
Okay.
touch it.
Eat your
So it
hand.
says, lower him down, and lo and behold, he will come up, not whole anymore.
Yeah,
And
we
it
definitely
repeats
shouldn't mess with
over
the
and
spells.
over again, all the way around the outside. And as you look at this bucket, you realize that actually between the rope and the chain and the bucket itself is a noose, or a collar designed to constrict around one's neck. Not very
Sorry,
pretty.
could you repeat what it said?
Lo and behold, lower him down, and he will come up not whole. And it just repeats over and over again, all the way around the side of the well. And as Shira reads the first of these out loud, assuming she reads them out loud, don't worry, you're not going to die. So, as you read them out loud, you do realize that this is a sort of chant. If you were to read it in its mother tongue, perhaps it would have a magical effect, but reading it in common, which is how you're translating it, it has no magical effect. If you give me an Arcana check, you might be able to work out exactly what it does.
Yeah, I'll do that. But I also don't think comprehend languages allows me to speak it, just understand.
Exactly, that's why I said you would read it out in common.
Well, fuck, 10.
Yeah. No, 10 is plenty. 10 is exactly what you needed. You would understand that this magic both lowers the winch itself, so that you don't have to wind it, and constricts the collar at the same time.
That's a nasty device.
Let us leave this well.
Okay.
I do not like it here.
There was nothing else in the home after you picked up the few bits of jewelry and such. As we go back to our little map for a second, do I have a proper map or a battle map? What am I going to see when I get over here? I have a proper map. Exciting. You have a building down and left from you. You have a large building that looks to be some kind of animal barn directly south of you, and there was that building all the way back over to the left that only had 2 walls intact.
I think we should go check out the animal barn in case we can find any animals or any
Okay.
carriage or cart.
Very swiftly, you will work out that this is where those pigs came from that you saw in the building up north. Remember you saw the tracks go through that last building, the muddy tracks? This is definitely where the pigs have come from. In fact, you could retrace their tracks here. You see that there are pens of various different animals. Clearly, there were plenty of animals kept in here. None are still intact. You do, however, see in the very corner of one stall what appears to be the remnants of a sheep sheltering its babe. And actually, as you look over to this sort of lava-covered sheep, you do see a little bit of movement behind the
I
sheep.
will go over and attempt to move said.
Well, you don't need to move
volcano.
anything. As soon as you get over there, you see that if you imagine the sheep is curled round to cover sort of 270 degrees of a circle, and in the curvature of its legs sort of wrapped around, curled up is a tiny lamb, approximately 8 days old. The Sundering happened 7 days ago.
What do you have over there?
I'll pick it up, wrapping
Give me
it in
another
my
handling
arm.
check, please.
Alright, I'm not that good at those.
No, but we'll see how gentle you are with this little lamb.
Oh, I got a 13.
Yeah, nice. It lets out a little bleat. It's nearly starved to death.
I found this little lamb here. It does not seem to be very old. Perhaps it was born before the Sundering. But it is very hungry.
Without casting any magic here, just using speech of beast and leaf. Can I get a general understanding that this animal's actually super hungry?
Yeah, well, it's pretty obvious to anybody who takes a decent look at it. The thing's skinny as all hell, and it's crying out repetitively. You'd all know it's hungry. You get the impression that maybe the lava didn't completely encase the lamb's body at first, so maybe it last drank 3 days ago. But it is in severe need of both milk and food. Or water and food, I guess. But milk, really, is what it
Yeah.
needs.
I'll walk over and we don't. I mean, I guess I do have rations per se from earlier.
You do, but dried meat is not going to cut it for a baby lamb.
No.
I guess I'll look around the area to see if I can find any sort of edible leafery or greenery.
Might I suggest this just become food for us?
It's
No.
No, we cannot.
It's-
In
this
all
is-
fairness, Moon, this would be like 2 bites. It is
Food-
small
in
enough to
this
sit
world,
on
food is
one.
food.
Yeah, but it is small enough to sit on one palm of Verdon's hand. You could
Listen,
grow
man,
it to be
I'm
lunch.
just trying to play my character.
Yeah, no, I know, but I'm just letting you know that at the moment, like maybe I didn't give a size perspective. It'll sit on Verdon's hand. If you grow it, it'll make a great lunch.
No,
I
we're not going to eat it.
see a problem here. A
See one as well.
regrettable truth. This world, it's scorched to hell here. There's all likelihood that feeding this animal is going to be a challenge if anyone so decides to care for it.
I'm not so heartless as to kill animals, but we do have to think of ourselves first.
It's
We also must think of the world after that. Well, yes, we may
The-
survive.
we-
We can't
But
just
the world
abandon
has to be
everyone to
good.
die.
Sorry, finish what you were saying, Verdon?
Even if we were to survive, we have to make sure and ensure as many survive as we can if we hope to rebuild after after the catastrophe that happens.
Yes,
even
but
still.
key word is we must survive first.
Well, would you guys rather just let this poor little thing die?
Even still, so far as it seems, we've got plenty of rations, but prospects for this animal are bleak.
I'm not against us trying to feed it and save it. I'm just saying, logically, probably not worth it.
You may be right, but I feel it is the right thing to do for us to at least attempt
Oh.
to save it.
Well, morally, I agree.
At this point,
Logically,
Go on, Oscar.
like I said before, I wanted to see if there was any like greenery in the area. Would I assume that there isn't?
There's no greenery in here, but there is a couple of things that are very relevant. There is a bale of hay in the corner of the room. Probably not appropriate for a 8-day-old lamb. I think you'd know that as a druid, but could potentially feed other animals down the line. There is also a pail, which appears to be full of slightly distasteful milk. However, I do believe somebody has the ability to purify it.
Indeed, I do.
And if you were to do so, it would be more than enough to feed this lamb for a week.
I will 100% do that then.
Okay, but you will then have to find a way of carrying it around.
I'll
As
The
you-
outcome looks less
Sorry, guys,
bleak
just
than
bear with me a second. You will need to find a way of carrying it around, and as you look around the room, you do see that there is a rickety-looking cart over to the side of the room. It is pullable by 2 men of sort of medium size or larger. A large humanoid might be able to pull this on their own, but it'd be hard work. But this would certainly give you some way to perhaps stash some things. Certainly, if you're not going far in a day, you could easily move it from one place to another and then just stash it. Its wheels are well intact. And in fact, on the back of this cart, you do find a pitchfork and a shovel.
Gods are smiling upon us favorably today.
shovel doesn't really mean much to me, but I'm sure the pitchfork can come with some use. You know, if y'all ever need to dig out some dirt, I mean, I can always do that myself. But
Would you say that a creature such as a bear, for instance, would be able to pull this with more ease than, say,
I would say that it is no easier for the bear to pull than it is for a furbolg. it's okay. He could turn himself into a draft horse, yes, but frankly, he could also participate in the roleplay and move the cart around with fair ease.
I
There
was just saying,
yeah.
like
For
if we ever
now,
need to move,
if you
like,
needed to go
travel quickly.
fast, he could easily transform into a horse and pull it along.
Yeah, I was about to say.
I
You'll
wasn't
see.
saying, I wasn't gonna say, Salty is just horse bear carriage.
Go horse
forever
now. We're not talking to you
But they-
anymore.
yeah,
We gotta
at
talk.
what you said, I would you would see my face start to transform into longer that of a horse, and then I just look at you, and then I just transform back, and like keep some buck teeth in there, and they slowly start to like transform back into my regular teeth.
My apologies.
Go on, Glax.
And also,
No? Okay, carry on. Either say it or don't.
You people that eat these creatures?
well, I mean,
Especially when they were more plentiful, and certainly not at this young age.
Why?
Mm,
well, I'll say they're delicious, but that's
Life,
like you said at a older age for sure.
Yes, usually we would raise them to be a bit, most likely towards the age of this one's mother before they passed, before the thought of eating them ever became, mostly just because they would only get eaten if absolutely necessary, just because sheep especially can give lots of raw material for us to use.
So you'd raise this creature just to kill it?
Sometimes, yes, but other times it would be raised to, say, as a cow would be raised to give milk. Then eventually, when they grew older, we would use them for meat and use their hides for leather.
Well, how do you think clothes are made? I mean, the wool on the sheep is a very useful tool, as well as that of its meat. So, at the end of the day, I mean, they all have their uses in life, but the most important one would be, for us as yeah, I wouldn't say humans, but I want to say humanoids.
As creatures,
as
survivors.
as survivors, I think the more useful thing would be to
Keep it alive for now.
keep it alive for now, and then possibly once it's gotten large enough, we could use it for the other methods that we've discussed.
Lex is Fae, right? I don't remember the 3 Fae people besides me, obviously.
He came from a place in the woods that was Fey sheltered. He's a goblin, but he was a tribe that was sheltered by an Arc Fey. So yes, he did come from the Fey woods with you. He didn't come from the Fey wilds.
That's fine. He would just know the Fae ways more than he'd know normal ways then.
Yeah, I mean, well, he'd know his own ways. That's the best way of putting it. I don't think he'd necessarily know Fey ways or anybody else's ways. He knows Glax's
Other than
ways.
his own.
Is that fair, Glax?
Yeah, so the reason why he's asking about eating and killing the lamb is because him and his tribe just ate fruits and nuts that were magically enhanced to,
Yeah, I was gonna bring up
Yeah,
that
that's
that's
a
on that.
survival
You're
first.
Fae.
Yeah.
Well, if you can find fruits and
yeah,
nuts
so-
around here to eat,
He'd been living on real good berries,
I mean, that is
Um,
in my head. That is what Glax has been living off of
Yeah,
this
100%.
whole time. So.
100%, I agree. As you guys are having this discussion, there is a tremor in the earth. You feel the whole ground shake. And the little lamb lets out a tiny little bleat. And Verdun, it begins to sort of cuddle into your elbow. As you haven't put it down yet.
I'll huddle it closer. Just
These tremors are fairly commonplace, but you see it seems to have attached itself to you somewhat. Obviously, the pile of milk is there that you have purified. You may give it a drink. Sorry, Shara, I didn't mean to interrupt you. What were you saying?
The moments passed long ago. But
Okay,
anyways, I had a
cool.
question about the milk. If I helped with prestidigitation to keep it cool, nothing bad would happen to it, right?
Yeah,
Keep
but I
it from
mean,
spoiling?
it has already spoiled. He has then purified it. Yeah, you can definitely keep it cool
Keep it
enough.
from
that
spoiling
that'll be
again.
alright. Provided you can stay by the cart long enough, but if not, he can just purify it again. I'm pretty sure that
Prestidigitation is a
Lycus...
quick cast.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Lycus can cast Purify Food and Drink as a ritual. Yes, he can. Um,
Oh, then whatever.
so yeah, it just takes 10 minutes for him to repurify it. As I said, the milk will last the lamb 7 days. If you try and replace your water substance with it, it'll last you 6, about half a day. Yeah.
This
Before all
is
of
the
that shit-
lamb. This is the lamb's. This is not ours.
Fennis, I'm going to assume that while these guys were all moving around here, being a bit of a hunter and hearing that they're going to preserve this lamb, you possibly maybe looked around elsewhere.
Yeah.
As you look over to another building, which is just to the west of you at this point, so would be
Right.
here, you do see that, or rather you do hear some sounds that could be wild animals. Some
Okay,
scuffling,
I would-
some scratching, and maybe a little bit of a growl at one point. You'd perhaps figure that they could be canines.
Okay, then in that case, I would like to take the opportunity to inform everyone that I'm gonna go check out the noises that I hear. And
You should not go
start
alone.
Sneaking.
Do not go
towards-
alone.
No, but he's going to stealth, which is okay. So I'll allow that for now. Make a stealth check, please.
That's a 22.
Okay. Yeah, unfortunately, as soon as you begin to creep up towards this building, you see a pair of blue eyes, ice blue eyes, staring straight through at you. Perhaps these creatures are more perceptive than you had anticipated. You can give me a survival check with disadvantage as you attempt to move away, but also identify what the creature is. Go on, Shara.
I want to, while he's doing this, cast a message at him just so he can respond back to me if something is wrong.
I really like that.
That's a 16 on the survival.
Pretty smart. Big brain.
I'd like to request that our paladin friend lay his hands on me.
While you two are doing that, but let me just explain to Fennis that what you get is that this is some kind of canine, possibly a wolf, but what nature of wolf you don't know.
Okay.
You don't know if it's one of those cute little dudes that you can scratch behind the ears, or if it's one that's going to stand with its shoulder to your shoulder and bite your head off. You're unsure.
Okay.
But
I
you
will
know that
relay
it was
exactly-
nosing around this building to the northwest of you.
Right. I will relay what I've figured out through the message.
Give me a perception check as well, please.
That's a 20.
Yeah, it definitely was as intimidated by you as you were by it, as the eyes disappear, and it definitely walked away from this building, possibly down and left. Verdun, were you laying some hands on people's?
Yeah, I gave Salty 10 lay on hands.
And then I cured my wounds and I got the rest of my health back.
Cool. All right. So although you've got a bleating lamb, you also have some pressing issues in that you did find some temporary source of water, but no longer term source of water. Are we going to continue to explore?
Well, hearing that there are beasts in the area, that he interpreted might have just been as afraid of him as he was of them. If the party will allow me 10 minutes, I can attempt to speak with them and get an understanding.
You and I both.
I think that
If
is
necessary,
a good
we
idea.
can.
We can start to move this cart, get this cart ready with some supplies just while we wait.
I don't think I can ritual cast while I'm carrying a cart.
No,
I
but
want
no,
to ritual cast it, by the way.
Verdun and Fennis, or Verdun and Lycus, would be capable of moving this cart while Kieran or Fennis were casting. Speak with animals. I mean, you can both get it up. That's absolutely fine.
I can cast it instantly. Yeah.
I mean, I can too. Well, yeah.
No, I
but
don't think it
would
costs
rather-
him anything, though. But yeah, both of you are in the mode of speaking with the animals. The cart is prepped. Do I assume that for now you're going to leave the cart in this barn covered?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Good idea.
And as the group progress outwards, As you get over towards this building, those sounds have stopped. And as you open up this, but it's not even a door, it's like two bits of wall that have crunched towards each other. Glax, you could just walk straight through, but for Verdun or for Fennis or for Kiaran, you just need to pull the wood bit that has fallen over the door out the way. And you're immediately struck by a sight. There are two figures on the ground in lava. One of them has its arms wrapped around the small one, as if trying to shelter it. So, sort of, if you imagine, it's bent over with its back towards where you would assume the cataclysm came from. As
The dried, hardened lava, yeah?
Yeah, as you see what appears to be a mother trying to shelter a daughter of some sort. Humanoids.
Ah,
elves,
fuck.
in fact.
Didn't hear caused all this.
And they're on the side, sort of, as you look over to the right, it is, it's like a censer with the end of a bit of incense in it, and two flowers laid across what appears to be a small shrine.
Can I take a look at the shrine? Try to see if it's
Give me a
just like a
religion check.
shrine.
You may also give me a religion check, Shira.
That's a 4. So
There are quite a few of you that read
Religion,
Elvish. Yeah, there are quite a few of you that read Elvish, so you definitely have all worked out that this is to a nature spirit of some sort. But Shira will then tell you that it is to Meiliki, the goddess of nature and of druids. And these two flowers are perfectly preserved. They will never wilt nor wither. They're not of much practical use, but they're pretty. And you see where this mother has attempted to shelter her daughter from what appears to be the cataclysm that came for them. The back of the house is blown outwards. There is no wall on the back wall. You see as it crumpled the walls on the way in, and it just ripped off the wall on the way back. You see the wall laid down upon the ground. As you look upwards, you see a few child's dresses and a few toys in a room that is no longer accessible. The only room on the upper floor of the building.
is it accessible from the outside?
You would be able to fly up, any of you, but all you will find is child's dresses, silly wooden toys, a spinning top, what appears to be some sort of fluffy animal that she kept close to her. Downstairs you'll find an iron pot for cooking, and something that I need to look up before I can tell you what it is. Really sorry. Oh, and a small glass vial containing a pale blue liquid. Glax and Shira, you can both give me an Arcana check for this. Glax, you might be able to instinctively understand a little bit about this.
I feel the alchemist would probably be
That's a
able to-
dirty 20.
Oh, true. The alchemist is probably the person that could have done this. But yeah, the dirty 20 will cut it. This item is called Lara's Glance, and I will type that in chat so that you can see the spelling. You can look it up on D&D Beyond. But it's a small glass vial of eye drops that changes the eye color of the user. Who would be understanding of this? I think Kiaran... I think Fennis and Verdun are the only people who've spent enough time around society to make this roll. The two of you give me an insight check, please. See if either of you understand why a mother would keep a jar of eye drops.
I'd like to
Yeah.
walk. I'd like to walk over to the shrine, and pick up the incense, the stick.
I'm gonna stop him.
No, hold on. Glax, what do you mean? You're going to pick up the incense stick?
Yeah, so like you light one end of the incense stick,
but
and
it's
blow
bear in
it
mind it's
out.
all burnt out here, so there's only the little stick that used to hold the incense.
Oh, okay then. Yeah, no.
Yeah, that's why I was going to explain it.
Okay.
But you do see the two perfectly preserved flowers upon the altar.
If I see him reaching for those flowers, I will stop him.
You want to leave them there as a sign of memory?
As an understanding of the druidic craft and understanding of prayers towards a goddess or a god, and just a shrine for whoever they had it. I would prefer if we left that be.
However, you will understand one thing. In seeing these two flowers perfectly preserved, whatever prayer they had was answered.
I will reach for one of the flowers.
Go ahead. Talk to each other.
One thing real quick. Did you
Sorry.
clarify the eye drops?
I will, after Glax and Kieran have had that
Got it.
conversation.
Respectfully, I'd wish if you didn't touch those.
Why?
Because, obviously, those were meant for prayers. Because of the fact that they're preserved, those prayers have been answered. And I think we should leave them as be as a symbol.
A symbol to what?
Or is the possibility of the gods still listening to us?
And leaving the flowers here will help who exactly?
Anybody who needs hope.
Glax will walk away from it. He doesn't agree, but he doesn't want to argue.
No, that's fair. Verdun, you got a 15, right? Or Fennis did.
Ennis got a 15. I got
Fennis,
a
you would
9.
understand that in elven tribes, all elven tribes have the same... every member of a single elven tribe has the same eye colour.
So they were trying to blend in. They were an outsider.
Or the daughter didn't have the same eye colours as the mother.
That okay.
Yeah. So you can assume that either she wasn't born to an elven father, or she was born to an elf of a different tribe. You can see that this vial has been kept next to the prayer shrine. It's obviously something that she was trying to keep quite precious and quiet and secret to herself. But you may take them if you wish. They are of no use to these people anymore.
Seeing as how I have a general understanding that the prayer was most likely answered, I'd like to walk around to the front of the stone-covered body to see if there was a possibility that she did protect her daughter.
The daughter and the mother both are dead. But you see them both with a peaceful smile on their face. As if perhaps it was simply a plea that it didn't hurt. Or for reassurance. Or indeed for hope. As you look over this, you do hear a strange, sort of piercing shriek from the southwest. But what it is, you don't know. Fennis, I will take a perception check to see if you can identify the nature of the shriek.
12.
No. It's not humanoid, you all know that.
Yeah.
And it didn't sound frightened, it sounded angry.
Was it
Nature
animalistic?
check?
No, this was a perception check.
Would I have known that that's the direction that the dog creature went in?
You definitely
Or
saw the
is
wolf
that-
walk that, but you know that the shriek is from a lot further away.
I see. Okay.
In fact, you could almost place this at the lava rift.
Ah.
Oh, that's great.
How many hours until the weather gets violent?
Still another 3 or so. And there was a building a little to the northwest of here that you hadn't yet checked out. Back towards where you started off. Not this building here. Sorry. If you do want to head across there or to the south, where this building to the dead southwest is where you would assume that wolf went. To the west is a building you haven't checked out yet. And which one do you want to go to? The building you haven't checked out, or the one where the wolves may possibly have gone?
What would we really gain for following these canine creatures? Besides just more food, potentially.
Not much.
Food for. possibly wounds and injuries.
Exactly. I feel like, especially after everything that we've gone through so far, I feel like we should potentially try to steer clear of any conflicts that we can.
However, there's no mystery with going to the wolves.
Well, we still don't know what's in that building.
Well,
You've been sort of sweeping from northeast to southwest. It might be worth just doing this last building before then doing the next line of buildings, was my only thought.
Yeah. That was also
Otherwise, you're just going to miss it by going around a circle. As you get to this building and you enter in, the roof is intact, but almost all of the building is completely obliterated. However, there is one small room in the back right that appears to still be intact.
I'll approach the room.
Let me take a look at that room then.
As you open the door, Glax, you see a small missive, a note on the right, on top of a small wooden table. The missive reads, "We have prayed each day since, Varlan has told us of his vision. He told us that some kind of cataclysm was coming. Some kind of war between the gods was brewing, and destruction was coming for all of us. And so, each day I pray. Not only to be sheltered from it, but if I am not sheltered from it, for it to come swiftly, and to end swiftly." And as you look over, you see that there is a shrine to Lathander, with a stone tablet of prayer laid in front of it, the words etched into it are readable to all of you, saying, "Be my shield and be my saviour, be my honour and be my God. Lathander, guide me and hold me fast, and stand me up again when times get hard." The very centre of this tablet has a crack all the way through it, as does the shrine. But leaning against this shrine is a single iron shield. It glows with a incandescent light.
So at the mention of the War of the Gods, can I make an assumption that they were somewhat blaming this war for the gods, that it could have been the cause?
Oh, you don't need to assume that. It says it in point blank writing. It says the war of the gods is going to cause destruction of all of us. Like point blank.
All right, then at the mention of that, I think I know what caused the Sundering, or the cataclysm.
I think we all know.
You know you don't.
I just read the tablet.
Let him go on, Verton.
When we all met, I said I came from a battle, and I ended up somewhere completely different. I was in that battle that they were speaking of. I am a paladin of Tyr. We were fighting those who follow Lathander. I'm not sure exactly what happened, but in the midst of combat, I must have passed out, and I reawoke very far from my home. If what this note and what this wizard's visions are to be believed, I think Tyr and Lathander may have clashed at full power, and that may be the cause of all that we see around us.
Your gods would risk destroying your homes.
As I said, we were at war. We were fighting each other, there was no meant to be worldly destruction. But when two gods of immense power clash with each other, there's no telling what could happen. And so, while one side, I'm not sure who, could have attempted to finish off the other could have used his powers to, say, redirect the energy, and then it's untold what that kind of energy colliding would be able to do.
Why was you fighting?
I can answer that question for you. The two groups, the Divinicus and the Arcane, have been fighting for so long that no one really remembers what the fight was about originally. The war lasted almost 800 years. But one thing you do know is that there was a war between followers of the gods where they were blind to any sort of reasoning. There was no reasoning given, really, at any point. It was just, well, you follow Tyr, well, you follow Lathander, you know? However, one thing Verdun would know is that the elves, they didn't war in the same way. There are followers of Tyr and Lathander, some people who follow both. The elves were sad because they remembered a time when the war didn't happen. When the war didn't exist. When followers of Lathander and Tyr fought side by side for the goodly beings. Therefore, almost all elves abstained from the war.
Except for my family. I'm not
and quite a few others. Quite a few high elves would have participated.
But yeah, as I say that, I can't remember a time when the war wasn't happening. I was just born into it, taught to do it. My father always did mention that something may end poorly, and would pray every day that it didn't. I'm not sure what his prayers were exactly for, though. But I used to be a high elf, and I followed Tyr, but when I awoke, I was this.
Contracts.
Sorry, I didn't know if Darth was finished talking or not.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Hearing Verdun describe the war like that, Glax would kind of look at him with a look of kind of part sad and part not really pity, but I don't know, maybe a bit not really disappointment, kind of along those lines, if you get my drift.
Yeah.
And I just kind of look at you and be like, your world seems sad.
It did have its moments. I do fondly remember times on days where my mother wouldn't drag me out to train and our family would just go and explore and be with nature, but those days became fewer and fewer between as my father got more and more wrapped up in the politics of the war, and me and my mom were both in it. I hope that this knowledge does not make any of you think less of me, for if Tyr was responsible, or if I truly am somewhat to blame for all of this, then it is now my mission to make sure that I do whatever I can to fix this world and bring us back to some semblance of normalcy.
As you're having this discussion, did anybody pick up the shield?
I would like to take a look at it, at the very least.
As soon as you disturb the shield bears the mark of Lathander across it. It is a shield of Lathander, and I can... It is homebrewed, but for some reason it's not showing up, so I'll sort that out afterwards. I think I've saved it improperly. But it is a Shield of the Thunder. And as you move this, Verdun, immediately you see a short sword. And this short sword has the mark of Tyr on it. It's just a plain short sword, but wrapped around the handle is a necklace that is being twisted and doubled over. And this is a necklace of prayer beads. And I will tell you for free, it is only usable by Verdun.
The prayer beads or the shield?
The prayer beads. You wouldn't be able to use the shield. It's a shield
Yeah,
of the
I
thunder.
figured. Yeah, I figured.
But
I was just.
Kiara or Fennis or Lycus, all of them would be equally capable of wielding the shield. Actually, it may state Druid, Cleric, or Paladin, so probably not. It'd be Kieran who would be able to use the shield, if you wouldn't be too offended. But nevertheless, one thing you will all notice about this room is it is blessed, and it is large enough for all of you to fit in. If you would like to take a short rest in this building, I think that's where we will end. A place of shelter.
One thing.
Go on, Karen.
One thing I want to do. I'd like to, using my mold earth, I'd like to get some stone and attempt to, in some sort of way, fill in the cracks of the stone tablet.
No matter what you do, it reforms. Give me an insight check with advantage. And in fact, Verdun, I will take an insight check with advantage from you as well here, because you might understand the other half of this.
25.
Perfect.
Not as good as that.
No, I
13.
need both. What was yours? 13?
I got a 13, yeah.
So, Kiaran, you'd understand that this is perhaps a representation of strength, not of weakness. Cracked but still standing. Broken but still whole. Verdun, you'd understand that perhaps this is a representation of how the thunder probably is right now. Splintered, broken. But in this room you can take a short rest, and I think we will end there. And we'll come to MVPs. I come first to Jamal.
I gonna have to do it a two-parter. First was the creatures and the sort of diversity and interest in things, and the fact that we seem to think that a building being cleaved apart was because of a creature, which we kind of now realise is absolutely not the case.
Yeah.
And the other one, I will have to say, goes to you giving me starting loot of a character that happened to put me massively fucking over encumbered, and then being like,
You roll for
oh,
it.
you can't fly with your pack. And then also being like, yeah, we'll worry about loot later because encumbrance. And it's like, yeah.
Okay, you can sort that out.
Yeah,
another time.
bit of a shaky start on the character creation, but
Totally
yeah,
not the point of the
just
episode, though, so that's why I didn't really care
oh, I
about
know,
this week.
I know.
Josh.
Okay, so I have two little ones, and one of them's everyone complaining about being over encumbered, and I'm like only carrying 5 pounds. I'm way under being over
But you have
encumbered.
no strength. That's the downside to it.
No, because I can carry up to 40,
He's got 35
so I
pounds of
can
free weight.
still pick up quite a lot.
Please
But
tell
you
me
want to
that.
take a tent then?
Please tell me that our MVPs are not all going to be encumbrance related. Carry on, Glax.
no, that's just a little one.
Yeah.
And then the other little one was Cassie's story. That was really sad and emotional. But my actual MVP is having Moon be more of a leader role in a campaign. I really liked it.
Yeah, I liked it too. Speaking of which, Moon, your MVP.
Ooh, for sure. The world building and the RPing to do with the world building.
Yeah. It's,
Everyone
this is
getting their
beautiful.
little bits. And everyone taking what they're given.
I really, really enjoyed you guys' commitment to the world. That was beautiful.
Also,
Oscar. Oh,
I
sorry.
guess everyone enjoying me being a leader for once.
Yeah. Oscar.
I would say the instantaneous reaction of Moon to say, "Why don't we kill it?" about the lamb.
It's the logical choice for my character. Leave me
Yeah,
alone.
probably, but a bit brutal.
One the size of a palm, even. And then I would say I did not expect to come into this campaign on the verge of tears. So
Oh,
yeah,
good. Good. That's one of those, eh? Darth.
Definitely all the little stories. I really liked the little lamb, and then I was honestly surprised that that a couple people actually were just like, yeah, no, we shouldn't kill the lamb. I thought Verdun was going to have to stand strong and be like, we're not killing this lamb, guys. We're keeping it with
Yeah.
us.
I am a druid.
But then,
Gonna fight for it. I was just suggesting, man.
but then my real MVP is it's because coming into this campaign, we all knew what the Sundering was and what caused it, and I was always really excited for the moment that the rest of the party found out that it was Tyr's fault. My character found out it was Tyr's fault, and then everyone's reaction to that. I was hoping that was going to happen way later down the line once we had all bonded more. But having it happen so early, I feel like it's also...
the one thing that I will make sure that you're aware of is that right now you're not aware that it's Tyr's fault. You just know there was a war between the gods, and that is at fault. No one knows specifically which god caused what, but yeah, I do agree with you. It had to be introduced early.
Yeah, and so that was really nice, and I also really liked. I think it's a very good character moment because it really does feel like because Verdun now does feel he had some sort of part in all of this. So the whole redemption part of his paladin makes a lot more sense now than just before, where it was like it doesn't really make sense since he was just coming from a war.
Yeah, no, I agree. Just realized we're on the wrong screen. Yeah, I've got a couple of minor MVPs and then a major MVP. But before that, I'd like to give inspiration to both Josh and Darth. You must spend it within 2 sessions, but for that final conversation, it was really beautiful role-playing. Really enjoyed it from both of you, so please take inspiration and run with it. My 2 minor MVPs go to, you found a whole pile of rations and water and said nearly nothing. But upon finding a pitchfork and a shovel on the back of a cart, Darth, you said, God must be smiling upon us. I thought, sure.
No, I meant for everything that we had found. I meant for everything
I know,
we had
but it was
found
just
up
the
to
way
that
it
point.
correlated was so beautiful. It was like, aha, a pitchfork was saved. The Moon using message to say jack shit to allow Fennis to respond was absolutely fucking big brain. Never seen message used like that. Really well played. Love that.
What I was saying was, use this to respond if you're in
I
danger.
know, but do you know what I mean? You said nothing of import, and yet
yeah.
it gave him the ability to talk back. I've never seen anyone use message just to allow somebody else to communicate. Very clever. But my MVP was Oscar leaving the flowers upon the shrine as a symbol of hope to others that come upon it. I thought that was such a beautiful message line. I know Glax was like, what the fuck, what's wrong with you? Like, we take the flowers, they're pretty.
No, it wasn't that. Like, Glax understood. He didn't agree. But the reason why Glax wanted to take one of the flowers was to remind himself of the beauty that was in this world. But he didn't want to have an argument about it.
I think if he hadn't said that, Kiara might have let you go with it.
Well, maybe if he fucking asked.
Yeah, but honestly, I
Oh,
took quite a long time dwelling on how much to give in these places. Cassie's diary, obviously writing that, and writing her father's diary. Well, her father's isn't a diary, it's a list of things he's been doing, but writing Cassie's diary, at first I considered giving you loads and loads of it, and then I just thought, I don't think it's necessary. We're just going to have this little splinter of it, you know? You've just seen the prayer beads around the Tyr's sword next to Lathander's shrine, but you have no idea who the people are behind it. And I think that in a way makes the world sadder, that you don't know who these people are and you don't know their stories. You just know how they ended. And I got really, really emotional writing this, to the point that I nearly didn't make it a session in time. And I love the contrast between these horrifically frightening battles. I mean, full disclosure, you guys were meant to have 2 combats today. And the second one after the first should have resulted in you being really tight on resources. I think it still will. After you've taken your short rest, you'll still obviously not have taken a long rest. But the combination of the danger and the storytelling is what I really wanted to bring to this world. Josh has always talked to me about his enjoyment of Fallout specifically, of like going through the vaults that have been abandoned and seeing the stories that are told there, and the buildings that have been abandoned and such. And I've always wanted to try and transform that into a D&D game, and I really, after we got over the fact that we were all encumbered, but you've got a week to sort out now, I really enjoyed you guys' commitment to just storytelling. So thank you so much for making it worthwhile for this session. I think we are going to end there. I don't think we are raiding. Oh, we are raiding. Sure. Kibler dropped in on us earlier, so let's go say hi.
Hi, Kibler.
And no, you idiot. Let's go say hi. He's streaming now.
I know, fucking with you.
So yeah, grab your raid call, grab your sub raid, and if you guys would like to say goodbye.
Goodbye.
You guys have a good
See you
night.
tomorrow.
We'll
See you
soon.
tomorrow.